What's up, everybody? I'm J-Man.
And I'm TheNorm, and welcome to the Underrators, the show where we talk about movies that we feel are either underappreciated or way overhyped.
Now keep in mind, this is all opinion, and we're not stating any of this as fact, so don't throw a fucking bitch fit if we happen to say something that you disagree with.
With that said, our first film today is said to be one of the greatest superhero films ever made. The one superhero film to surpass all others. It is hyped up to be one of the highest achievements in film history.
Superman the movie?
Nope.
The Avengers?
Nope.
The Incredibles?
Not even close.
The Amazing Spider-Man?
Are you high?
Maybe.
It's the 2008 blockbuster film, The Dark Knight.
Oh.
Yeah. The movie made over $1 billion at the global box office, received rave reviews from pretty much everyone on the planet, and is said to be arguably the best work of the late Heath Ledger.
Now keep in mind, we don't think that this film is horrible in any way. We just don't think it's the masterpiece everyone is making it out to be. So we're here today to discuss why we think the film is completely overrated. It begins with a heist. A bunch of guys in clown masks begin an elaborate bank robbery that, believe it or not, was actually inspired by a Michael Mann film called Heat. And by the way, you ever notice how different this film looks from its predecessor, Batman Begins?
Oh, absolutely.
Why is that, do you think?
Well, it's because after the success of Batman Begins, Christopher Nolan, for some reason, decided to have little to no visual effects and just do everything in camera. Which, in a way, is admirable, but unfortunately takes away the feel the first movie had. You ever notice in Batman Begins there's plenty of use of CGI, matte paintings, etc.? This gave Gotham City the type of feel to the settings and the environment. In The Dark Knight, however, none of that is kept, and the movie just looks generic and less stylized.
Wow, talk about ego.
Yeah. Anyway, so the guys all kill each other, leaving only the Joker himself.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Hey, wouldn't those other school bus drivers notice another bus coming out of a building, like...
Nope, doesn't matter.
What the hell?
So we see that Batman has criminals in a city running scared as we cut to scenes involving the last Batman villain, Scarecrow, as he tries to negotiate with a bunch of customers. But a bunch of Batman wannabes try to stop the scene until the Batmobile shows up.
Did Batman just destroy other people's cars?
Yep.
What an asshole. So Batman deals with them and he meets up with Gordon, played by Gary Oldman, and they both decide to go after the mob all at once. We then see that Bruce Wayne, played by Christian Bale, is now staying at his new underground bunker while his mansion is being rebuilt.
In the next scene, we're in court with a new Rachel, now played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, and Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart.
All rise. The Honorable Judge Friel presiding.
I thought the DA just played golf with the mayor, things like that.
Tee-off's 1:30. More than enough time to put you away for life, Sally.
They do know it's disrespectful to the judge to talk while he comes in, right?
Apparently not in this courtroom.
Permission to treat the witness as hostile.
Granted.
Hostile? I see you hostile!
Oh, come on! Does security suck in this courtroom too?
It looks like he just pulled it out of his lap. How did the judge not see that?
And we get into something that is very common with all Chris Nolan movies. Too much talking.
Gordon, I don't like that you've got your own special unit. And I don't like that it's full of cops I investigated at Internal Affairs.
Turn every cell phone in Gotham into a microphone.
Money is the only reason I'm still alive.
I know that Mr. Wayne is curious about how his trust fund gets replenished, but frankly, this is embarrassing.
My God, this isn't a Batman movie. It's a frickin' episode of Law and Order.
So anyway, Rachel and Harvey are out on a date together and Bruce shows up with his own date.
So, Bruce, after engaging in a pissing contest with Dent, suddenly decides that he likes the guy and offers a fundraiser for him. We then cut to a scene involving the mob gangsters talking about their money.
On obvious reasons, I couldn't wait for your permission.
When the Joker shows up, played by the late Heath Ledger.
There was some backlash about him being cast in the role, but he blew everyone away.
So the Joker tells him that Batman is the biggest problem for them, and offers to help. Gordon, Dent, and Batman all meet at the bat signal on the roof where literally anybody in any other building could take their picture, and they say they need to get Lau back from China.
As soon as your office got involved...
My office! You're sitting down there with scum like Wirtz and Ramirez and you're talking...
Do people even use the word scum anymore?
Only if they think it's still 1965.
How will you get him back, Amy?
He does that.
Wait, wasn't Gordon standing where he could see Batman disappear?
Yeah, but the camera wasn't.
Ah, now it makes sense.
So Fox supplies Bruce with more equipment, takes the entire ballet cast out for a boat ride, and starts to leave for China. Meanwhile, the Joker has another... Wait a minute. Why did Michael J. White just stand there and not fight him off or something?
Maybe he was just as interested in hearing the story as well as the audience.
So Fox attends a meeting in China with Mr. Lau.
We do not allow cell phones in here.
Sorry. Forgot I had it.
Really? That's your excuse? Forgot I had it?
Our business deal has to be put on hold.
Hey, sir.
Oh, looks like he snuck another cell phone in there. Oh well, nothing I can do. I'll just put this back.
So Batman manages to capture Lau and bring him back to the States. They interrogate him, and they manage to put the entire mob in a slammer. This, of course, is followed by more talking.
Well, even if you blow enough smoke to get convictions out of Cirillo, you're going to set a new record at appeals for quickest kick in the ass.
It won't matter. The head guys make bail, sure, but the mid-level guys, they can't. They can't afford to be on the streets long enough for trial and appeal.
Okay, wake me up if something big happens.
Gotcha.
That's the only reason that this might fly. But that means it's on you. They're all going to come after you now, and not just the mob. Politicians, journalists, if they get anything on you, and those criminals are back on the streets, followed swiftly by you and me.
Whoa, 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 what just happened?
Something big. They take down the body and discover a video attached to it, leaving the most chilling footage ever.
I'm a man of my word.
So Bruce throws a fundraiser for Harvey. Bruce later reveals that he's basically doing it so he can leave all the crime in Harvey's hands and hang up the cowl and be with Rachel. The Joker then manages to kill a couple of named targets, Commissioner Leo, Judge Cirillo, and crashes Dent's fundraiser. Because the Joker somehow figured out that there was a fundraiser for Dent. Fun fact, by the way, this is the first time Michael Caine ever saw Heath Ledger in the Joker makeup, so that look of fear on Michael Caine's face is completely genuine.
Luckily, Batman shows up to fight them off. Joker drops Rachel out of a window and Batman manages to save her. So he's gonna go back up and save everyone else now, right?
Nope, scene ends right there.
What the hell?
This, of course, is followed by even more talk. You know, even in Batman Begins, whenever there was dialogue, it still had some movement to it. Here, it just kind of stops the movie dead.
You also notice how the dialogue scenes are very quiet, but the action scenes are loud and in your face? Makes the whole thing feel kind of uneven.
So they go to a crime scene with a few dead bodies that, for some reason, still manage to hold on to a handful of cards, and they find out the Joker's next target. Meanwhile, some accountant dude named Reese reveals that he's basically discovered what Bruce and Fox are secretly up to and tries to blackmail them. Fox basically tells him, "Fuck off," and he's like, "Okay."
Meanwhile, Bruce gets the idea to take the pieces of a shattered bullet, put them back together, and find the fingerprints from them. Geez, have computers invented magic or something? So Bruce goes down to the city parade in honor of Commissioner Loeb to try to find the culprit before the mayor is supposedly going to be assassinated. Wait a minute. So the Joker had it timed perfectly down to the second of when exactly those guys would fire so that guy could fire at the exact same time and no one would notice a thing?
Why would he fire at the window in the first place? What if it was just some random civilian opening his window shutter?
Anyway, so Gordon gets himself shot, saving the mayor, and the town goes crazy. Dent manages to hijack a fucking ambulance without anyone noticing and figures out that Rachel is potentially next. So he interrogates one of the Joker's henchmen while Batman interrogates Maroni. It's at this point that Bruce decides to give it up and reveal himself. This of course leads to Alfred giving him even more inspirational dialogue.
But that's the point of Batman. He can be the outcast. He can make the choice that no one else can make. The right choice.
Today I found out what Batman can't do. You can't do this. Today you get to say I told you so.
Today I don't want to.
So a press conference is held where Bruce intends to reveal himself as the Batman. But, big twist,
I am the Batman.
this leads Bruce to do absolutely nothing. Wait a minute, at first he wanted to give up Batman because he wanted to be with Rachel. Then he wants to give up Batman for the sake of the city, but now that Dent has lied and stepped in for him, he doesn't do shit? This guy's character motivations are totally out of whack!
We then get to one of the biggest and best action scenes in the whole movie. Even though they reused the same road tunnel from Begins, it's still one of the best action scenes in the whole movie.
But one thing though, how the hell did the Joker know that they would call in air support and where to set up the steel cables to catch a helicopter and make it crash? How the hell does Joker know so much in this movie?
I don't know, this movie makes me feel dumb enough already, just go with it. So it turns out that Gordon was the mystery driver of the truck the whole time. Even though that's very unlikely, because how the hell could he manage to get hold of a SWAT uniform without anyone else knowing about it? But they managed to capture the Joker. So, movie's over, right?
Nope.
What? They captured the Joker, what else is there to do?
Well, it turns out that this is a lot more convoluted than it should be, because now we have to deal with the fact that Dent never made it home for some reason, and they have to figure out where he is.
Jeez, we're only an hour and a half in, and it feels like it's been 3 hours already.
Well, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, what do you expect? So this leads to what is arguably the best scene in the entire movie. It is so gripping and so intense that you forget what time of day it is after seeing it.
Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you where they are. He's at 250 52nd Street, and she's on Avenue X. That's just it.
Of course, we find out that the Joker lied and told him the wrong addresses for each, leading him to save Harvey instead of Rachel. So, wait. The Joker had everything timed down to the letter, when he would be brought in, when they would capture Harvey and Rachel, when the bombs would be activated, when this guy with the bomb phone implanted in him would be brought in, when they would start interrogating him, when to tell him the addresses, and leave only enough time for them to save only one?
Shut up, doesn't matter.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Harvey gets burned on the face, Rachel is killed, and Alfred reads Rachel's letter.
When I told you that if Gotham no longer needed Batman, we could be together, I meant it. But now I'm sure the day won't come when you no longer need Batman.
You know, I hate to say it, but Rachel's kind of a bitch.
Well, how so?
I mean, at first, she doesn't want Bruce to give in to the Joker and reveal himself, but when her own boyfriend steps in and he suddenly changes his mind, she's suddenly sure that she wants to marry Harvey? Character motivations in this movie are ridiculous! So Alfred gives Bruce another inspirational speech, and Harvey wakes up and tears off his face bandage. Gordon later visits him in the hospital.
I'm sorry, Harvey.
No. No, you're not. Not yet.
How is that face even possible? Wouldn't his voice be more gravelly? Wouldn't his eyeball dry out quickly?
Shut up, doesn't matter. So the Joker meets up with the thugs and decides to burn his half of the portion promised.
It's about sending a message. Tell your men they work for me now. This is my city.
Point!
So then the Joker gives the town another ultimatum. He decides he's had a change of heart and doesn't want Batman revealed. I know, character motivation, it's a bitch. And threatens to blow up a hospital if Reese doesn't die soon. Jeez, this movie is just a never-ending stream of plot after plot after plot. So they evacuate as many hospitals as possible, and Bruce manages to save Reese's life. So the Joker blows up the hospital, and admittedly this explosion looks pretty damn awesome. Come to think of it, how did the Joker get all those explosives into the building and nobody discover them?
Shut up, doesn't matter.
Oh, come on!
So the Joker threatens everyone to leave the city.
If you don't want to be in the game, get out now.
And Two-Face kills a corrupt cop in a bar. Batman introduces Fox to a sonar machine that he illegally built to track the Joker's movement. Which he does, but not before some more, you guessed it, talking!
And land routes east? Backed up for hours. Which leaves the ferries with 30,000 ready to board. Plus, I want to use the ferry so I can get some of those prisoners off the island.
The men you intend put away? Those aren't people I'm worried about.
Jeez, how much longer is this movie?
About 40 more minutes.
What? That's it, I'm out.
No, wait. We have to finish. We have to let the people see just how good this movie really is.
I can't, man, it's too boring.
Take one for the team, man. It has to be done.
I don't have the strength.
No, wait. Give you $100.
Deal. So anyway, Harvey interrogates Maroney and finds out that Ramirez picked up Rachel and brought her to her final destination. He then kills Maroney and his driver. We then cut to passengers and prisoners boarding the two ferries. Once out at sea, they discover a bunch of barrels on board with a detonator. Wait, how the hell did no one notice those things on board?
Shut up, doesn't matter.
You know, I'm starting to think this movie got away with a lot more than people realize.
True. So the Joker tells them that if they don't set off the bombs on the other ferry, both ferries will blow. Batman saves all the hostages in disguise from being killed by the cops and finds the Joker. They engage in a brawl until the Joker has him down. They wait for the fireworks and, unsurprisingly, they don't happen. Honestly, could nobody see that coming? Batman foils the Joker and the police take him.
So now the movie's over, right?
Nope. Now we still gotta take down Two-Face.
Come on, even when the movie's over, it's still not over.
It's Return of the King all over again.
Seriously.
So Gordon finds Two-Face holding his family hostage in a place where Rachel died. Batman shows up to try and talk some sense into him. But Two-Face decides to point his gun at the people responsible, namely Batman, himself, and Gordon. He shoots Batman first and, yeah, sure, he's definitely dead, then does himself. The coin lands on positive, no real surprise there, and we get back to him threatening Gordon's apparently favorite family member, his son. But, surprise, surprise, Batman stops him by pushing him over the edge.
Wait, I thought Batman doesn't kill.
Well, I guess he didn't have a choice in this case.
And how did no one notice him get back up and... Never mind. So Batman goes into a whole speech about heroes and villains and how lying is good, and decides to accept blame for all of Harvey's crimes. And the movie finally comes to an end. So that was The Dark Knight. And frankly, I only have one question right now.
What's that?
What change did Bruce go through?
Well, he learns to have better faith in people. The Joker represents the ugliness of humanity, and Bruce overcomes that by having better faith that people will do the right thing.
But that doesn't make any sense. It has no weight to it. We've seen the people of Gotham pretty much bow to the Joker's every whim throughout the entire movie, so there's absolutely no reason to think the people on the ferries wouldn't blow each other up. If anything, it was just blind luck.
So, he becomes a better hero, making sacrifices and all, even at the point where people think he's the bad guy.
But the only sacrifices he's made are, 1, building the sonar machine, which he makes Fox destroy anyway, and 2, taking the blame for Harvey's actions. But if anything, he's just doing that out of memory for Rachel and because he owes it to Harvey because Harvey did it for him earlier. So there's not enough weight behind that either.
You know what? You're right. When you really think about it, Bruce has nothing to do in this movie but be a rich dick, hunt the Joker, and do cool moves and stunts. All good for progressing the story, but not much of the character himself.
So what are our final thoughts on the movie? Do we hate it? Do we think it's overrated?
We cannot stress enough that we in no way hate this movie. It's got really great ideas, the action scenes are really fun, and some really good suspenseful moments as well. But unfortunately, we feel that it tries too hard to be more than what it is. A superhero film.
The dialogue scenes drag way too much, the character motivations are all over the place, the overall tone of the film is way too serious for its own good, and the whole thing is just so long and boring. So, Even though this may upset a lot of people, this film is definitely
Overrated.
But what's the main reason this film is so overhyped?
Well, there really is only one reason, and I'm sure everyone knows the answer.
Heath Ledger. Even though we don't think his untimely death caused the movie to do so well, we sure do think it contributed to it. The Joker seems to be the only thing people actually remember about this movie. I guarantee you, go up to anyone on the street, ask them if they've seen The Dark Knight and what they remember the most about it. The answer you will probably get the most is the Joker. Even though the movie is called The Dark Knight, this is Joker's movie. He literally carries the whole thing. And if there's anything a movie should be remembered for, it shouldn't just be its main villain.
And that was our very first review ever. Anything you think is overhyped or not hyped enough, please let us know in the comments below.
Until then, not everything's a masterpiece, but not everything's a piece of shit either.